our next guest lived in a strict religious cult for the first 18 years of her life. She was not allowed to go to school, talk to people outside the cult, or wear fashionable clothes. As a teen, she escaped, later got married, and had kids.
Yeah, so what was life really like in that cult, and why did she decide to leave, knowing she would probably never have a relationship with her parents again? Well, Elle Benet wrote this book. It's called They Made Me Do It, a cult survivor's memoir of life after the cult. She's also the co-founder of an interactive website about social fashion. Thanks for being here, Elle.
Thank you.
You obviously started wearing fashionable clothes because you look fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you both.
But that's not something you were able to do growing up.
Absolutely. And actually, that's the foundation of, my website, because I could not have the ability to express myself. Women in the cult, we could not wear jewelry, clothing, skirts to your knees, or at least covering, down to your ankles. And as a young woman, it's very difficult to live in that type of environment because we want to express ourselves. And I remember one instance where I was going past little girls holding a ballet class, and I just had a burning desire to be there. And my mother told me, those children, they're not happy. Oh. And I just couldn't understand it because they seem happy. And it just gave me the desire, what's out there? What is this world like? And growing up in a restrictive community where you could not express yourself was a difficult thing to do.
And when you talk about growing up in a community like that, so that people understand, are you among other people, or is it the type of cult where you actually live together in community where you're kind of removed from the outside world?
Well, it wasn't mandated to actually live in a certain community. We were not able to own any of the homes that we lived in. They all had to be rented because this is materialistic. Our final home is in heaven. So you were free to live where you would like as long as you rented your home.
Mm-hmm. Now, one thing that you told us during the break, you don't mention, you refrain from using the name of the actual cult, and you do that for a reason. Why is that?
I do. A lot of readers, that's one of the questions that they ask me time and time again. And it takes away from the inspirational message of the book. They have a lot of media attention on them now. For instance, the medical, they don't condone that. And a lot of the parents are on charges for manslaughter charges.
So what you're talking about is one of the beliefs in this cult is that you don't intervene with medical help, even if a child, for example, is very ill or could potentially die.
Absolutely. It's faith healing. It's based on faith healing.
And your older brother, too, he survived because he was secretly taken to a hospital.
He was secretly taken. My brother actually was at work one day, and he said, I can't live with myself if I allow my brother to die. And he didn't. He came home, and when my parents weren't there, he took him to the hospital, and the doctor said he saved his brother's life.
How many siblings do you have?
I have 4 brothers.
You have 4 brothers. Are they all now also escaped from the cult?
They have, and I'm really happy to see that.
And you have a relationship with them?
I do. I
know that your mom passed away, and I'm sorry about that. For a while, though, when you escaped from the cult, you didn't have a relationship with your parents, right? Has that changed?
Well, they did not condone that either. Once you left, that's it. My father, he's actually coming around now, and I think everyone deserves a second chance. And the book is not to evoke sympathy for any of the experiences that I've been through, but to show others that despite your past, not to minimize it, but to despite it, you can enhance your future. You can make a difference. And that's what the message I want to send to people.
I know you also don't want to get into the horrors of living in a cult, but the reality is there was a lot of sexual and physical abuse to children in particular, right?
Absolutely, it was. And it was something that was really kept secret, even within the community itself. A lot of things were just kept secret, but I want to voice it and to let people know it's real and it's happening.
I think that's the only way you can end the cycle of silence, is by being able to talk about it and being able to share that message with people. And you really do say oftentimes that you feel the positive can outweigh some of the negative that you experience. But what are some of the things that you have a hard time letting go of? Because you said, certain attire, certain beliefs, you can't own anything, things like that you grew up believing for 18 years of your life. Are there things that you just can't seem to let go of?
Yes, and the biggest challenge for me is opening up and sharing with people my feelings, which is why I wrote the book. It was actually written 2 years ago, but I just came to terms with sharing this. And, you know, I'm excited to do this on this level.
Was it quite something for you to be able to escape and then to get married and have children of your own?
Yes, it was. And to follow that, you know, experience a miscarriage and going through a foreclosure. But I feel the foundation of where I was brought up, it helped me get through these difficult times.
Yeah.
I think it's great. You've started a fashion website for young women that nurtures their self-esteem, and all the information about you and your book can be found at your website. It's elbenet.com.